I don't know what face to make. Hey guys, Charlie here from MAPerformance, coming to you with another top 5 video about the 10th Gen Honda Civic Si. Now, the last time we talked about our 10th Gen Civic Si, we were talking about the exhaust. If you haven't seen that video yet, then wait until the end of this one and we'll link to it at the end for you. Now, for me, growing up, the Honda Civic was the car to buy. And once you had it, the first few things you did were an exhaust and, of course, an intake. Now, since we've already covered our top exhausts for the newer 10th Gen Si platform, it's about time that we covered the intakes. Now, there are a few things we wanted to look at when comparing different intakes on the market, one of which being the intake material, the air filter, obviously the price, and then any kind of extras. And when I say extras, I mean all those little things that brands are able to include with the product to make what they offer unique. Now, those could be things such as finish options, free supporting tunes, heat shields, or anything else. So stick around, because after this, I'm pretty confident that you'll be ready to pick out a new intake for your 10th Gen Si.
Check this little filter out though, guys. Holy crap, this is so little. Check this out, bro. So small. We don't need this garbage no more.
Small, dude.
Put that over there. We don't need that garbage no more.
Now, the first intake on the list is going to be this PRL Cobra intake. Now, the cool thing about this intake is that the street version, it actually keeps the stock tubing size for the mass airflow sensor, but from the intake cone to the mass airflow sensor is a 4-inch inlet, which is actually what helps make the intake work so well. Now, PRL also utilizes a combination of silicone and high-density polyethylene to make a super unique design, which in turn allows you to get the coldest possible air. Now, obviously, price is a big factor when comparing parts, and this one comes in starting at $395. As far as extras go on this intake itself, it does come as a street version or a race version, as I previously mentioned. The street version allows you to install the intake and just go. However, the race version allows 50% more volume of air in comparison to the street version. Now, that's going to be why the race version requires a tune. However, there are multiple options available from Honda, K-Tuner, and actually Two-Step Performance to allow you to run that race intake. Now, the next intake on the list is our very own MAPerformance air intake kit. Now, when we polled you guys on our social pages, it seemed like there were really only 2 intakes that existed for this car. That'd be the PRL Cobra intake and, of course, ours. I seriously appreciate you guys for all our support. If you actually already have this intake on your 10th Gen Si, you'll have to let us know how you're enjoying it so far down below. Our intake is slightly different from the first one on the list, as you can kind of tell. Our intake is made from a 304 stainless steel and utilizes a K&N air filter with a built-in dyno-tested 6-inch velocity stack. Now, in addition to that, the intake starts at 283 in this raw stainless finish. Now, we do consistently see that once you guys get that factory airbox off, this intake only takes about 5 minutes to install. As far as extras go, that's where our intake really shines. First off, this intake works just fine on the stock tune. However, if you really want to kick things up a notch, we do include our MAPerformance Stage 1 Plus off-the-shelf tune at no additional cost. Now, of course, you're going to need to have your own K-Tuner to apply the tune, but a K-Tuner is a great purchase for any Honda owner anyways, as if us car guys needed another excuse to buy some car parts. Finally, the last extra that I'd say about this is that you can get this intake in multiple finishes, from the stainless raw to a black wrinkle or a red wrinkle coat finish. Now, the third one on our lineup is none other than the brand new HKS short ram intake. This one is a much different material than the 2 mentioned here, being that it's actually made of aluminum and features HKS's Super Power air filter, or as some people know it as just a mushroom air filter. This filter is partially what aids in giving their intake a signature induction sound that sounds absolutely amazing. It's also not much of a cold air intake considering its positioning. However, HKS does include a heat shield that should help protect you from some of that heat soak. Again, they're not pretending it's a cold air intake though, so again, it's just your own choice. The intake is coming in at $395 and looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see more of these hit the market. Again, they were just released as of the time of making the video, so we're still kind of waiting to see some of those. All right, you guys, so the next intake on our list is the K&N Typhoon air intake. Now, in my opinion, this one is really cool because it comes in this awesome candy red color that just looks absolutely incredible in any engine bay. Plus, this intake does come with K&N's air filter and heat shield, which work absolutely phenomenal. I'd personally like to see this come with a heat shield of some kind to help keep the aluminum piping colder in its location. But again, in most applications, I don't think a whole lot of people will notice the performance difference, especially if this is going to be only one of the few mods you do to your car. Now, this intake is coming in at only $291 too, so if you are looking for a well-priced intake that will sound great and add some style to your bay, then look no further. So you guys, the last intake on our lineup of intakes is the Mishimoto Performance Air Intake. This one is actually super unique because Mishimoto designed this intake to have a steel heat shield box around the air intake filter itself to help aid in keeping out that hot air. Now, personally, I think this is a cool differentiating feature, especially when you consider the other intakes on this list. They don't offer that. Now, in addition to those things, the silicone intake piping is available in different colors, so you can pick the one that you prefer. Also, it's definitely not the most expensive intake on the list either, coming in at only $299. All right, you guys, so that's gonna wrap up today's video on our top intakes for the 10th Gen Civic Si. Now, I did try to make sure that this list included many different options, and to my surprise, by coincidence, they all happen to be different in their own ways, which is actually super interesting because for the most part, a lot of intakes for other platforms tend to be the same kind of piping, bent a little bit differently with a different color and brand on it. So guys, you're gonna have to go ahead and let us know which intake is your favorite on the list in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the content coming from this channel, and make sure that you leave us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Now, if you guys haven't seen our top exhaust for the 10th Gen Si, again, we're gonna link that video to you right after this, so stay tuned. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.